Welcome back to Teshkid FX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Quant, whose current price stands at the $160.6 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 1.45%. And in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out basing my analysis on the Elliot wave structures, the Fibonacci's, and also draw out any key chart patterns that you have information on this chart. And I'll kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening on this chart. Quant from the all-time high has been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $41.2 mark. And having done so, we have seen a very nice bounce to the upper side, obeying the Elliot wave structures. And if I jump to the forward chart so that I can show you those Elliot wave structures that we have here on the Quant chart, after making our low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that was obeying the Elliot wave structures, having these as the first wave to the upper side. Then we saw a bit of a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 2, continued pushing high in the formation of a wave 3. Now I'm expecting the formation of a wave 4 and then continue pushing high in the formation of a wave 5 to complete that high Elliot wave count 1 to the upper side. And getting a little bit into the details of the formation of this Elliot wave structure that we have right here, so that it can give us the key scenarios that we expect to play out. After making our high for that first wave, we saw a very nice retracement over here in the formation of a second wave, and using the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that first wave to the high of that first wave, that gives us a minimum retracement area in the formation of a second wave between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.5. And you can see I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, and you can see we retraced into that target area, seeing the formation of a second wave within that target area. Then saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of a wave 3, and using the trend based Fibonacci, we can get to see whether this wave 3 to the upper side has done the minimum that we expect a wave 3 to the upper side to do, by connecting the Fibonacci's from the low of that first wave to the high of the wave 1, then dragging the fibs to the low of the second wave. And that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 1.618 in the formation of that wave 3 at the $239.7 mark. And you can see the high that you have here on the charts is at around the $228 mark, meaning there's a $10 difference between the high that we have on the charts and the high that we have sketched out using the trend based Fibonacci, meaning there are chances that the high for that third wave could be in. There are also chances that the high for that third wave is not yet in, and we might see a bit of a pump to the upper side to fully maximize that target area before we continue seeing a retracement to the lower side in the formation of a wave 4. And assuming the high is in at around the $228 mark, we can sketch out a movement to the lower side over here in the formation of a fourth wave. And because a wave 4 is a retracement of the third wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the low of that wave 2 to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum retracement area to the lower side in the formation of that wave 4 between the fib level 0.382 and the fib level 0.618 as a maximum. And I can mark that target area here on the charts like that, and that target area lies between the $175.2 mark and the $141.7 mark, and that is the minimum that I expect this fourth wave to the lower side to do. And because a wave 4 is a corrective wave, I also expect to see an ABC corrective movement play out over here, and I believe we are seeing such a structure, having this as the wave A to the lower side, then a wave B making a peak at around the $195 mark. Then we continued pushing lower, and we have made a low at around the $154 mark. And in my previous videos I said that there are high chances that we might be coming lower in the formation of this wave C, and you can see that has happened here on the charts. I expected to see a low that is below the low that we had for this wave A at around the $158 mark, and that has played out by giving us a low at around the $154 mark. And now I'm starting to have some confidence in the formation of this fourth wave over here, and there are chances that the low might be in at around the $154 mark, and we might see a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of this this wave 5 to the upper side, and because this wave 5 is an impulsive wave, I will also expect to see fractal waves in formation within that 5th wave to the upper side. So let's be patient so that we can get a confirmation on whether this low is in, and once we have the confirmations, then we can start sketching out a movement, a very nice impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of that wave 5 to the upper side. And getting to the key chart patterns that we have information right here, within the formation of this wave 4, we have the formation of a triangle right here, and you can see we have continued to push the price of Quant to the apex of the triangle, and yesterday we had a breakout to the lower side of the triangle, and at the moment whatever we are seeing after the breakout to the lower side is much of a retest of this horizontal line that is what is acting as a baseline of that triangle. And once the retest is in, there are high chances that we might continue pushing lower and make a new low within this target area that I have drawn out here in this on this chart. And once we fully maximize the formation of that 4th wave, then we can expect a very nice bounce to the upper side in the formation of that wave 4. And getting to the 1 hour chart so that we can also see what chart patterns we have information here on the 1 hour chart. Here on the 1 hour chart, we are also trading within this descending channel, and this channel has been well respected, giving us more than 3 touch points. And right now we are trading at the almost at the upper side of the channel, and there are possibilities that we can continue pushing to the upper side and get to the upper side of the channel. And once that plays out, then we can see a bit of a resistance from the upper side of the channel and see a bit of a pullback to the lower side of the channel. And in that movement, I would expect us to break out of the channel to the lower side so that we can fully maximize that formation of our 4th wave by fully maximizing our target area that I have drawn out on the charts. And once that plays out, then we can sketch out a movement to the upper side in the formation of a wave 5. There are also chances that maybe the low was in at around the $154 mark, and once we push to the upper side of the channel, we might see a breakout to the upper side and maybe even see a retest of the upper side of the channel. And once that plays out, we can even continue pushing higher in the formation of that wave 5 to the upper side. So those are the 2 key chart patterns that we have information, and the key scenarios that I expect is that there are chances that we have not fully seen the low of that 4th wave, and there are still chances that we might continue heading a little bit lower. And once that plays out and we fully maximize the formation of our wave 4, then we can continue pushing higher in the formation of our wave 5. Getting back to the 4 hour chart so that we can sketch out a target area to the upper side in the formation of this wave 5 to the upper side, I can use the trend based Fibonacci, connecting it from the low of that first wave to the high of that first wave, then dragging the fibs to the high of that wave 3, and that gives me a minimum target area to the upper side at the fib level 0.618, and that is at around the $287.1 mark. So that is the minimum that I would expect that impulsive movement to the upper side in the formation of our wave 5 to do. Here on the 4 hour chart, also adding the 20-day MA, we can see that we are trading below the 20-day MA, and that 20-day MA is now acting as a resistance, and that means there are chances that it might give us resistance once we try to break above it. And in case we find resistance and we see a pullback, there are possible chances that we might continue heading lower in the formation of that 4th wave. Also taking a look at the indicators to see what movements will be supported here on the RSI. Here on the 4 hour RSI, we are trading at around the 44 mark, meaning we have massive room for us to support any movement to the upper side. Also any movement to the lower side will still be supported. Also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed we are just about to print a bullish cross, and that would mean higher prices are coming our way. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.